And no matter what you try, most of the library or most of the thing have some kind of issue. This one, when it worked, I was super excited. I spent quite a lot more time. The only thing you need to have idea, and MCP is the idea, and I'll explain more. Click on it. Why MCP is now a buzzword. So first, if you click on it, you will jump into the MCP and you will come here. Good so far? Make sure you all see on the screen. Remember, the concept, if you don't understand, there is no benefit of doing lab. Without concept, lab is useless because this program, you have access. The recording, you have access. But if you don't understand, you will not be able to use it. I always tell people, tools are there, doesn't mean how to use it, right? And you need to understand how to use it. So first question is why MCP and what should we do? So there are many era we gone through. So in 2000, there was an era called web development. It means a company used to do intranet application. From intranet, they started doing web, which is called internet based. Anybody from anywhere can access. So if you are expert in 2000 web development, you can right away job. Right? I got a job because of 2000, because I knew a little bit web development, HTML, JSON, XML, a little bit IIS server, ASP, a little bit, get a job. But then market changed. In 2004 to 6, if you have a little bit knowledge about web service, you instantly get double salary. Why? Because the mainframe, we wanted to wrap mainframe through web services. So now mainframe logic can be accessed through web via web service because mainframe was not internet enabled. It's a legacy application and web service was wrapping it. So any traditional, we call proprietary logic you have in your local environment, you can expose that via web service, instantly successful. So I did my certification for 2005, maybe Java web services, and it was super. Almost everyone wanted to hire you because you know web service. But then later on, 2005 to 2007, there's a new technology evolved. It's called messaging, where you don't, web service require like direct connection, means both side, client and server needs to up and running. So there was an era came that you as a client, you can fire and forget. So you send message, message should be stored somewhere. Message should be stored somewhere. And then the receiver can come and get the message whenever they want, either one or other. So around 2006 to 2009, anyone who knows messaging got a right away job. They call middleware. So like example, in case if you have studied like, WebSphere MQ or WebLogic, Business Integrator, Apache MQ, RabbitMQ, and there are many more. Okay. Now we call Kafka, which is very similar, but old fashioned, it was like that. In 2010, new era came. Those who knows big data, right, Hadoop, in case if you know the word Hadoop, instantly 3 times salary people were giving, just knowing Hadoop. And trust me, just like I taught you about a Streamlit or I taught you strands in 3 hours, I used to teach Hadoop in 4 to 5 weeks, and person used to get 160, 170,000 salary. My own experience, I can tell you. I just moved myself from Java J2E to Hadoop and double the salary. My salary was double. The only thing I changed is Hadoop. So what I'm trying to say here is technology change happened. Now we are moving to agents, which is called LLM, which is started in almost 2000, I would say 22, 23, I would say 23 started LLM. So technically LLM, it's all LLM. Most people thought LLM is super, which is right now super, but they were started generating 3 things, right? Either video, image, or content. 2 years, many people got a significant opportunity. I think those who got a job in 2023 to 2025 with LLM based, which is called prompt engineering, their salary, yearly salary was 250, 180, like that type of higher salary. Of course, after 1 year, salary goes down because when hype is gone, then in 2024, new concept came. You see, now there used to be time, now it's not even a long time. In a 1 year, agentic AI came. Agentic AI, which you know now, rather than LLM, which is called generative AI, which is called least, what you call popular. Generative AI only generate the content. but it doesn't make decision, it doesn't do function, it just generates the content. Many people love it. So example, video creator, example, documenter, author creator, they love it. But there are only certain persona. But like example, people like want to reduce the workforce in the sense of human, they want to reduce human and they want to bring digital work. Agentic AI is the way to go. This era is right now hot. But then there is a problem here. And this problem, specific problem here, agentic AI, you saw we did Langflow, Langchain, Strand area. These are great. But there is one small problem is there. See, so far what we are doing, agents is a writing tool or model. So tool, you can use any tool, but tool has a two challenge. One challenge, you write your custom code and then you call external web service or other thing. But what if a whole company wants to use it? Some certain thing. If everyone write their own tool, then it's not hard, it's not good. So somehow we need to have some kind of common understanding. Now there are many LLMs are available, but there are many applications where there is no web service. Example, I'm using SharePoint. SharePoint may not have a web service. Or I'm using Confluence Space. There is no web service. Or I'm using a files, folder structure. Folder structure doesn't have web service. Or I'm using database. Database doesn't have a web service. So I need to create a web service. I need to do a lot of heavy lifting. But LLM does not understand that. So now there is a three things I want to make sure you understand. Think number one. Let's say I have a database. Database does not have any knowledge. So how as an end user through web, I can go to web and use this the database. There is no way. So now you can say, what about this if I create my web service? Okay, if I do web service, then I can do it. But then what about LLM? So LLM doesn't understand web service. Then you end up writing tool. That tool use web service and do that. Now you do this exercise. So this exercise, everyone has to write tool. So now most company like Oracle, most company like that, they say, wait a minute, why are you writing web service? We are going to give you MCP server. Listen carefully. We are going to give you MCP server. So now whatever you want to inquiry about database, tables, schema, records and all, we will give you a layer. It's kind of web service, but LLM understandable web service. So LLM instantly will understand. And LLM can talk to MCP server like English, no code at all. So what is MCP means? So MCP stands for, it's called modular command protocol. So it's kind of very simple modular. But in this situation, what you are taking is some system which does not have a web enablement. Those companies are started giving MCP server. Please understand, database, Oracle database, MySQL, in order for you to access, you need a JDBC or ODBC connection, means network access. Now this company started giving MCP server. So first of all, there are two parts, MCP server, and second is MCP client. Server, most company giving. So example, Confluence, example, if you're using Jenkins. So Jenkins, if you want to know, what are the pipelines you have? Jenkins does not give you that by default API. So Jenkins have MCP server. Everything has MCP server. Like example, if you had Google Docs MCP server. Google Search, MCP server. Amazon.com has MCP server. CNN.com, MCP server. Everyone started doing MCP server. Why? Because rather than you technically call, technically means web service. So example, United Airlines, they have a web service, but they are also giving MCP server. Why? Because you can talk to ChatGPT. I want to buy United Airlines ticket tomorrow on this, and automatically it will happen without writing a single line of code. That is the power of MCP, because LLM can talk to MCP server just like natural English. So code is gone. You can do insert. I'm going to cover. So MCP server is a wrapper, is a web service, technically web service, but you, rather than you develop, the company which is developing the product, they are giving you. So example, If I want to talk in a certain language, like example, I'm talking in, let's say, language A, right? If I talk language A, let's say example, I'm popular technology A. So everyone has to support A, yes or no? Because if they don't support, I cannot establish communication. Do you guys agree? The best example, in case if you know, like 4 or 5 years back, there was a specific interface came on laptop. Most of us, we used to use USB, but then Apple came up with Type-C, and then Dell created Type-C. Now everyone is supporting Type-C, keyboard Type-C, laptop Type-C, camera Type-C, phone Type-C, mouse Type-C. What does that mean? Because Type-C become more popular. So now everyone is supporting. What is the popular right now? LLM. What is LLM? English. So how do I talk to web service in English? There was no way. Because right now, the only thing request and response. Request and response through payload. You need a payload, technical term. So what MCP server says that, let me show you the picture. MCP server says that there are many tools and technology in the world does not have a web service. So we have two choice, either this company who is giving the database, they can give you web server, MCP server, and that server gives you lots of capability. Insert, update, select, like whatever the thing you want, out of box. So you just say, you install the software and you also install MCP server, you install. It means those who want to connect to the JDBC through, they can connect, and those who want to connect through LLM, they can connect through LLM. But here, sorry? The key part, right? Just like you're calling web service, right? Anytime you call web service, you don't just call it, right? You are passing your authentication key and all. Of course, you will do that, right? Because this one will give you, it's not like open for everyone, right? It's authentication will be in part of that. It's nothing but just like app key and secret key. There is not special. However, in this thing, please understand, we'll do the exercise so you will understand. I am going to talk to LLM as a user. I need a weather, just an example. Now, if I need a weather, I'm going to purely talk in English. Now, when I talk to English, these MCP server has two things. One, company provides or you prepare it. What's the benefit of that? Because if you prepare it, now LLM, you can have a tool. That tool can understand these flavor, how to interact with this, we call traditional orthodox component. It can be file structure, it can be document, Google Docs, it can be Gmail, Yahoo, which was not web enabled. But now you can inquire that. You can say list out, you can say search it, you can do all. So this is the special power MCP gives. Now you have two choices. Do I need to use MCP? Can I do without MCP? So first thing first, let's understand. If you don't have MCP, just an example, can I do that? Answer is yes, you can do that. But in that case, tight coupling. You have two options. Number one, either use stands or you use LangChain and create a tool. Create a tool and you bypass this aspect and you write web service call, you write and you have to do heavy lifting. But if somebody give you MCP itself, you don't have to do, you still write a tool, but MCP itself is a tool. MCP itself is a tool, so straightforward LLM will understand. So you don't have to do work at all. If you write it, it's a heavy lifting, because in database, create schema, create database, update schema, create trigger, create store procedure. How many you will write? You're going to go crazy. But if Oracle gives you, it's out of box, right away you can use it. So this MCP tool is not just one server, it is hundreds of tool capability, hundreds of. Like example, in case if you use Confluence space, creating a space, adding space, updating space, heading, book, page, content, lots of things. If you want to write, you're spending a lot of time on writing on Confluence rather than you writing your business logic. So MCP server side Confluence will give, whoever is giving Confluence, which is in our case Atlassian will give you Jira, everything Jira related thing they will give you. So you install MCP server wherever you want. That MCP server will interrogate Jira and you just interact with MCP server with zero line of code. So it's kind of plug and play. And because it's a MCP, it's a common, it means now Anybody can use anything, right? So any LLM can use any MCP server. So most of the company now are giving MCP server. So there's a huge demand. First, use MCP, which is called MCP client, use, or develop MCP server, which is this. So for server, MCP server is a web service in easy language, but it is following a special protocol. That protocol LLM understand. So those who know web service, for them it's a piece of cake. Those who do not know web service, for them it's a little bit learning. Sounds good? Those who know web service, MCP is a web service, but it's used LLM protocol, and it's a special protocol where request and response LLM understand. That's pretty much it. It's not like normal request response. It request and response LLM understand. There is nothing special, right? Now, all those setup you most likely gonna do. So like example, if I'm Expedia, just an example, and United Airlines on the other side. So Expedia is not going to make a call to United Airlines web service now. Instead, they will use MCP. The benefit of that, this is reusable component now. And anytime they add, listen carefully, anytime they add, it automatically available, zero code change. If I do web service, I have to keep adding my code. Yes or no? So this is the abstract form. This guy can add anything. We as a LLM, we only know this server. And then this is called catalog. You can add anytime, you can change anytime. It's a catalog. So sometimes, and again, of course, removing is a problem, adding is not a problem. And if you remove, mostly you will communicate to the customers that, hey, we're going to deprecate certain type of tooling capability. In that case, client does need to change. But 90% chances that will be a communication part. But because it's MCP, you are decoupling LLM, decoupling these people, and there is no code at all. Make sense? So first thing, it is reducing code. Second thing, it gives you standard communication protocol. Third, it signifies the development effort. Sorry, minimize the development effort because someone else is doing for you. The exercise which I'm going to do, part of the exercise, I'm going to create my own web service. And I'm going to wrap that as an MCP server. Then I'm going to use agent as a client. Use call MCP. MCP will call web service. And LLM, I'm going to prompt it. So when I prompt LLM will go to my agent, which is the tool. Tool through it will go to MCP and web service. Now, many times you may not need MCP. So it's not like every time you should use MCP. When should you use MCP? First, the destination is not web enabled, and you want to make it will enable. Then now, rather than going through web service, you should go through MCP, because LLM can interrogate this thing much better than web service. And because you do MCP, now tomorrow any other vendor wants to consume, they can easily consume, because MCP is a standard protocol among all LLM. And many companies will be using MCP based coordination and communication. And this is where every company started doing. So right now, most companies are developing. It's not everything is available. So there's a huge demand. If you write in your resume, MCP client and server knowledge is a big thing because no one knows about it. We are going to do this exercise. This exercise is a little bit require multiple files. So we have to play around. I tested one computer, so I'm hoping it will work. I wake up early today, but I was stuck with other things, so I could not complete the testing. Yes.
So basically Rally or Jira, anything, any application or database, they all
everything will have MCP server. Okay. They might have, or they will be building it, right? They might have, or they will be building it. Why they build it? Let me explain. You know, generative AI, everyone knows generative AI, right? So what is generative AI? Generative AI, you are doing chat, right? You are chatting Bedrock to knowledge base to S3. Now this is a knowledge base. Do you guys agree? If I do MCP, generative AI can talk to nicely without any code. Do you guys understand what I'm talking? So when I write here, show me product data, it will make a call to MCP server and figure it out product table, figure it out data and give you result. This is only possible if I have MCP. Otherwise, I have to write my agent. Are you understanding? See, when we do FAQ, we upload the file, yes or no? And then we create a knowledge base. Then we inject to LLM. Here, we are not doing knowledge base. Instead, we are on demand giving you MCP server. So if LLM, somebody interrogate, show me the expensive product. LLM say, oh, I have MCP server. There's a product, so it will go here and it will search it and get. You are going to write English and you're not writing a single line of code. The only thing, your LLM should have knowledge about MCP. If the knowledge is there, then it will automatically be. So when you talk about Rally, right? Rally. If Rally is a, listen carefully, very important. Rally is nothing but Jira kind of thing. Or if you're, let's say, Confluence page or your Google Docs. Now, if you want to say, show me, provide me the details or show me the document where we have architecture diagram. If this MCP, you can have many MCP registered to LLM. So it will check one by one, and now you can figure it out where these architecture diagrams are. It can be in Rally, Jira, Confluence. You will get the links. You will get a links also, and you can click it and move to that thing. So technically speaking, MCP enables your knowledge base. MCP enables your LLM to do more with less code. Make sense? A little bit tricky in the sense of it is a web service, but it uses MCP protocol. So 90% web service, 10% MCP. It looks kind of similar. You may not even see right away difference, but when you do the code, you will understand. For me, it was 10-minute learning. Set it up took long time because it's complete web service. It's a web service only because you know without web, you cannot interact. Do you guys agree or not? Because in order for you to enable this database on a web, you do need a web service type of interface. So there is a web service, but the request in and out, it follow MCP protocol. Okay. So let's see the example here. So this is what MCP is. We talk about benefits. It's standardization, modularizations. Again, agent can grow by connecting many tools. We talk about it. Flexible communication, make easy, modular without breaking code. Where you can use, you can write weather apps, calculator, booking service, lots of things you can do that. Custom support, knowledge base, which we talk about, MCP server. Okay. So in this exercise, we are going to have MCP server. We're going to create that, which will continuously running. We will have MCP client, which is Agent that send request to MCP server to get work done. So we'll talk about LLM will use MCP and we'll try to do that. Now, what I have done a lot of things here. So I actually did two exercises. One exercise with, I use what you call Flask API, Flask web service. So Python has a framework called Flask for web service. And this one, I use another framework, web service framework in Python called Fast. So I use Fast MCP, which is internally create a nice web service. Again, this whole document has details. So click on documents and try to, I will walk you through so you can understand. It's pretty long, but we'll go through that. I want you to understand first, then you will make use of it. Otherwise, you may not understand the real heart of MCP. So let's open it. So in this exercise, what we are doing here, I want to make sure you set the stage properly. Please pay attention. We will be creating first a service. We're going to create a service. So this service is called calculator MCP server. So this server, one service I'm creating first. Simple example, service, which is the add service. Means if you give me X and Y, I'll give you response. So that's my web service. Now that web service, I will have on top of that MCP server. The MCP server will call the web service. So far so good. Then I have agent. So this is my program agent where I'm using MCP client, which will talk to this one. So you will see my request will come here. This has to be running up and running because it's a server. This has to be up and running because this is service. So there are two services. So we need to open many command prompt. Okay. So the service is running. And if I do web service, if I change this web service to another web service, it will work. If I have database, I can do the same thing and it will still work. If I have file structure, it will still work. If I'm messaging where I'm listening particular queue, it will still work. So technically, the LLM only will know this one, right? And here you can do a lot of things, a lot of goodies. And when you expose MCP, it does give a swagger, automatically swagger. And a lot of goodies it gives you. Again, I'm not going in detail, but if you spend some time, you will understand. It will be searchable basically. Everything, whatever I have, is searchable. So we'll do two server, one service, one will be service, which is this. I think this one is my service, Flask service, and then we'll do fast MCP server. So we'll do MCP server. Now, after that, we will use this LLM with OpenAI or Bedrock, and we'll try to connect with the MCP server, which MCP server internally will go to service and get me the result. We will also use some tool just to test it out. If you have Postman, you can test it out. If you have browser, you can test it out because I'm doing get. But if you want to do add, post and all, you can do that also. Sounds good? Now, in order for us to do, there are a lot of libraries we will be installing. So right now, let's install all those libraries one by one, right? Let's do one by one. So first, one by one, we need to install library. So I'm going to do Control C. I don't need Streamlit anymore. So I'm going to do Control C and installing library. Flask, fast MCP. Let's do one by one all library. Fast MCP. Strands you have, strand agents you have, strands tool you have. So the last one I'm going to do MCP agents. Because we have prior installed other libraries, we don't need to install those libraries. But those who have not installed, you do need to install the library. So please understand, these libraries we have installed. So I don't think we need to install, but otherwise all library we install. Okay. I have done a little bit easy way for you to get going because if you do manually, it's going to take time. So I'll show you some technique. Try not to create a file or anything. Make sure you just install the library. Okay. So far, so good. Now, if you go back to my forum and scroll all the way down, I have a link for my Dropbox. Okay. All the way down. In the forum, go all the way down. Everyone understand? Go all the way down in the forum. You have a link. Click on the link. So some of the code which I was writing, I have added here for you. So you have access to the all code. So in case if you want to play around, you can get that all. Now, for time being, there are many codes available. We will be using this code. So we're going to download that. Make sense? So now when I download this thing, it will download as a zip file. It will say, you know what, are you sure you want to download? You click on it, continues with download only. And that will download the code. It will be zip file. It may not take more than a minute because you can see as soon as I downloaded, I say continues without the account and I can see downloaded. Pretty good. Now let's go to download folder and you should have that MCP thingy zip file. If you see that, you do need to unzip that because it has 4 or 5 files. So if you see that, please do unzip. So I'm going to unzip that. So I right click and extract all, extract all, extract all, and extract. At this moment, I have MCP example folder is ready. Give me thumbs up if you are with me so far. This way you can save time because otherwise you will run out of time. People on phone, This exercise, I will be honest, it took me like quite a 9 to 10 hours. It's not like the exercise is hard, but the library errors was a lot of errors coming. So I found a very easy way to do this exercise through fast MCP. Good. So now what we're going to do here, please pay attention, copy this file path. So here I'm going to copy this directory by clicking here. So if you click here, you can highlight and copy, and this one will open in a VS Code. So we're going to open in VS Code. So we can go to File, Open Folder, File, Open Folder, File, Open Folder. So we'll go to File, Open Folder, and just paste it. So when you paste it, you will get that, and then select folder, so it will open the folder. So in this situation, you will see like a MCP examples, and you will see 4 files. So far, so good. Good. Now, please understand, we need to do a lot of heavy lifting here. So I'm going to close command prompt for a second. That's fine. We'll start from 0 so that way you all can catch up. Please understand, we copy, please pay attention. We copy MCP example from download folder. So I'm going to open new CMD. So open a new CMD, command prompt, CMD, and click on it. And you can say CD space and right click, CD space right click, CD space right click. So you will go to that location and press enter. So that is one command prompt. This is for my MCP server. I'm going to keep it. Create one more CMD, click on command prompt, and then paste it, CD space right click, CD space right click, CD space right click. So this is another, this window is for my service. So I need a multiple window, one for service, one for MCP server, so I can properly show you how it works. Ready? Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Now let's understand before we do anything. So let's double click on calculate service, double click, hello, double click. So here, please see here. So if I use Flask, please pay attention because some of you may not know the services. There are only 2 frameworks are there. One is called Fast and one is called Flask. So Flask is very popular. Most of the web services in Python is designing Flask. It's within a half an hour you can understand. It's not complex. It comes from library called Flask. Now it's nothing but Flask is a web framework. Request comes in, request goes out, which is called response. Anything you receive will be formed in JSON, go out in JSON. So if I start this service, please pay attention. This start, I'm saying add as a method, and anytime I do annotation app route add, it means anybody who call this way add, it will come here. Now I'm saying listen at port 5001, so it will automatically add port 5001. Because I'm doing add, I'm passing 2 parameters, A and B. So this way A will be received and given to A, and B will be received. So here I'm passing A equal to 2 and B equal to 3. So technically I'm passing the whatever value I pass request argument. So it will pick 2 and it will pick 3, and then it will do just justification and then respond to 5. Make sense? So first thing, we'll play this thing. So we're going to start this service. In order to start this service, we have to know the name. So our name is calculator service. So we'll start here. One of the command prompt will say Python. We'll say Python calculator, and then check calculator. Second, why it is not coming up? Oh, there's a folder inside. Sorry for that. There's another folder, MCP example. Sorry, I didn't copy entire folder. So do CD MCP, right? Because there was folder within a folder. So CD MCP, you need to go inside. Yes or no? Because the codes are inside the directory. CD MCP underscore examples, cd space MCP underscore examples. Now, if you press enter, if you do Python, calculator, and then tab, so it will write, and you can do tab one more time, so you can get calculator service. Make sense? So the way I did is because I had a folder structure. Inside that, I have a folder structure. Anytime I want to see that, I can do dir, and I went to cd, this directory. Inside the directory, I say Python, and I did tab. Couple of times, I write calculator and tab, and I get this thing. When I press enter, it will start running the service. So if I press enter, service will run. So Flask is pretty easy. See, service is running, and it is running on 5001. Why it is running on 5001? Because I asked to listen. Okay. Any questions so far? Now, if you are able to see this in your code, this URL is there. Copy this URL. Don't copy dot, just copy the URL. Don't copy the dot part. Copy this URL and go to browser and paste it and see you are getting 5. And if you're getting 5, so you know how to call web service. Make sense? Right now, the request went to your service and you got 5, A, 2, and B. And you can see here, as you request, your request came here and you got a equal to 2 and B equal to 3. So technically, you know your requested service is working. Each step you have to verify. Any questions so far? Pretty easy. One more time, making sure you understand. Please understand, you are learning a lot of things in a 1 hour time frame. Those who have not studied web service, you are learning web service, you're not learning JSON. I completely understand, but we don't have luxury to spend like hundreds of hours. Make sure you understand this is readable code. It's not that complex. That this is the method. By just doing that, you're enabling on a web. By doing this, you're running server, which is listening on port, and anybody type this add. So tomorrow, if you want to add another service, you copy this, add something there, add new name, right? And instead of add, tomorrow you want to do subtract, multiplication. It's the same concept. This is rest of the things are just a frame. But this is working fine. Okay, good. Let's now go to fast MCP. Let's go to fast MCP. Are you guys able to see? Please see on the code. More you see, more you will enjoy. Ready? Ready? What to see? Yeah. Some confirmation is needed because otherwise, if I say something, you will not get it. Make sure you all understand. First, I made a service running and I tested it. If that doesn't work, don't go forward. Now, if you carefully see here, this is the same service which I tested. Now, how this works? So this is, I'm going to create a server. So I'm going to wrap that service as an MCP. So first thing first, I'm using fast MCP. Fast MCP gives me MCP type of protocol. So here say fast MCP, that's what I'm listening. I give my MCP server name as a calculator. Okay. And I say it's a stateless HTTP true. Host 00 means anybody can request to this machine, and I will be listening 8002. It means if LLM calls, LLM will call 8002. LLM will come here. From here, these guys know that any request come, it will know how to pass because it has only one tool. So tomorrow, if you have another web service or another, like example, you're reading database, you're going to add MCP tool. Instead of add, you're going to say read data. Make sense? You don't have to tell anything. Rest of the things it will automatically find. This guy is interrogable, means you can interrogate this thing. LLM can interrogate this guy. What tool you have? And that this tool, this guy will say, I have add tool, I have subtract tool, I have division tool, like that. So this guy can give this information to LLM, and all wiring will happen automatically. Make sense? Here, you might notice that so far we were using agent tool, but here we are saying MCP tool. We defined wrapper function for Flask servers, but you can also do to database. So instead of here, you can use like a example. You're doing database. Let's example MySQL. You do all MySQL and you return the result. Here you can say get, like example client. Then another tool, add client. right? Just like that's what I'm saying. If you know web service, this is a lot easier. Concept is same. This guy, what he does, this automatically, LLM will automatically send this information. Once you send this information, this guy will take it and pass to your Flask service. So Flask service will get the result, and you are going to return this result to LLM. So result actually come. This is a wrapper. Technically, this method is not doing anything. This method is passing detail to this service. The real service is happening here, which is running right now. The service is running. This is the logic. But this is a demonstration purpose only. That service is just like that, but it can be weather service. It can be a lot more services. You can wrap all service as an MCP. What's the benefit? Because this is our LLM can interrogate what tools you have, like that. All tools capability, LLM can interrogate here and then dynamically call that. So it's kind of nice. So I think we understood this thing. Looks pretty good, no problem. So now we have another command prompt. Let's do CD MCP again, CD MCP and tab, CD MCP tab, and press enter. Good so far? Press enter. Why did we do CD? Because we had another example. Now here I'm going to run Python. I think I hope oh, how did I run this thing? 1 second. I think it's a Python, right? Yeah. Python, because one of that has a different command. Python fast MCP server. Just write that, and it will start listening to you. Python fast MCP server, and it will start listening to you. You will see like a kind of nice board and all, but it will start listening. It will take a couple of seconds. You can see that started learning. So Python fast MCP server, right? It started learning, and it is saying that this is documents available, right? If you want to learn, and our MCP server is ready. Our MCP server is ready, right? What you are learning, you won't believe that very limited people in the world knows this thing right now. So now copy this thing and paste in a browser and see what you get. Control C and go to any browser, maybe open a new tab and paste that. So you will see like a Swagger type of thing. So 802. Oh no, it won't work because it only understands MCP protocol. So this won't work. It will only understand through LLM. So it won't work because you're exposing MCP protocol. So it won't work as a browser. But you can see right now you're listening to 8002. Okay. So we have two servers running. One is this server, which is the service, and one is MCP. Now, if you notice carefully, it is saying that, hey, I'm listening to this. But so far, I cannot request normal HTTP because it goes through MCP protocol. So it won't understand right now. Good. So two server is running, MCP is running, MCP is talking to Flask web service. Now let's go back to our program, agent program, which is here. And we need to change the key here. So let me change the key. This key part is killing me. So let's do the key part. So this key is replaced. Now let's understand this program. Please understand, in this program, you may find more similarity. So first, this line, I think you won't have a problem because we've been using this thing. Yes or no? This is like very popular. I hope you know that we use that in a strands example. So no problem there. This URL, you know, I got it from console with MCP server, which you're running here. You can see that this URL, I got it from here. So this is the URL I got. So that part is not a problem. Now let's see here. So here we are doing MCP client, and we are saying that, hey, I will be using MCP protocol, so I'm going to connect here. So now you are establishing healthy connection. Just like HTTP, you're now connecting MCP. Now you're saying, I'm going to connect and I'm going to listen and sync up. What that means, if you make any change in MCP server, I'll get it, update. So it's kind of nice. So if anytime you can add it, it will automatically get it. Now you can see here the tools you are using here. Please pay attention. Pretty interesting. You can say you are helpful calculator assistant. There's nothing. This is not right, but that's fine. But here, please understand. Look at that. MCP client tools. What that mean? You are saying that anything you have, give me. And that's it. That's it. It means if I add, subtract, delete, I don't need to know. I'm saying, give me anything you have. I'm going to plug it. So think about how much power you can get. Because if your database, and database, you can create database, create trigger, create storage. You don't have to write all those things. You just write this one line, Oracle MCP server, sync up, you got a tools, educate your LLM. So now any question you ask, it will go to Oracle, run query and all, get you result. Confluence space, files, folder and all. How simple and code. There is no code at all, technically. I'm not even writing a single JSON or anything. Am I writing? Do you see that anywhere? You won't even notice that what is happening here. But now let's run it and check it out. So here I'm running the program. At that time, both servers should get requests. If we get a request, it means our things are working. So let's run it and see our LLM is sending request to first fast MCP. First, it will get a fast MCP. And then second, tear it out. What is that say? Value greater than equal or 0 less than console buffer size. Argument. You got an error? No, you get an answer. You should have got an answer. Let's see what happened. This one, it says, oops, something went wrong. Please report this thing. Oh, I don't need to report. It's calling automatically. It should go here. Let's see if it goes. Yeah, still let it out. Are you guys getting? It should work. Why? Let me do Control C. Control C, Control C. The binding visual code string default. What is this one? Control C, Control C, Control C. It's stuck somewhere. Oh man, what happened? What is crying here? Configure terminal. What is that one? No, I don't need to do anything. Let me delete this and I'll try one more time. Agent with today. Did my key is correct? Key is correct, right? Yeah, key is correct. Everything looks good to me. One more time. Are you getting or no? It should work. Or otherwise, I will go. Yeah, I will go to command prompt otherwise and work because it seems like it's a here problem is here. So what I'll do is I'll go to command prompt and run because that might be an easy thing. So I'll go here, MCP server, MCP, and I'll open command. One more command prompt and I'll run agent from there. CMD. And I'll go to CD and this location. And here I'll run Python. Right? And what is my file? My file is agent. So I'll say agent and tab and press enter. So right now it should make a call. And if everything is right, our MCP server should receive the message. So far not. Oh, okay, I got it. I had locked it. That's why the problem is. I locked it. When I highlight, it is locked. So now it's coming. Look at that. It's add. It got the message. Look at that. It got the message. And it also get the message here. Let's show you here. So this guy got the message. You can see a lot of message came, right? And you can see here, it called 5 and 9. Yes or no? So now let me change my program. I think it should work here as well. So let's say my program, like example here, what is instead of 5 plus 9, let's say example, I say, what is 10 and what is sum of, right in English, what is sum of 10 and 11, right? Let's see. So 10 and 11, right? at this moment, it will work from here also because I was locking the fast server. So if you go here, it should pick it up a number. So it should have a request coming here, right? Did it error out here? Yeah, it went here. And you can look at that. It called the message 10 and 11. Pretty good. Huh? Right? Yes or no? And you got the answer. Right? So funny part, like example, this is one funny part, which is surprising how this is working, right? Like example, I'm just see here, okay? What is 10 times 5? Do you agree that I'm not having a, what do you call, multiplication anywhere? Do you guys agree or not? What is 10 times 5? Did I do addition or multiplication? No, here, multiplication, right? Check it out. Okay. And now it's gonna call, and you can see it received the call, right? It received the call and it passed here and it will call multiple time. It will call multiple time, right? And it will get you result. It's gonna call multiple time. Look at that. This is where I'm amazed how it is getting the result. Look at that. Though I have not mentioned anywhere multiplication. Absolutely. Can you believe that? Right? This is their power. Now, a little bit different. Like example, what is 10 minus? So do I need to create a add, subtraction, division? Technically not. It will now 10 minus 5, right? This is like unbelievable. How does it figure it out? And that is where LLM is using only, it's just like a thing about, it has only one tool. It has a one tool. So it takes 10 minus 5 add. So 10 plus minus 5. And it gets you result. Right? So it, see, here you can check, it will pass the value. And so here, it make a call and it seems went here and I did my answer. And you can see the sum for 5 and 9, 14. Here you can see, here you go. 10, we can find out number which you were added 5 gives 10. So to find 10 minus 5, we can, sorry, what do you guys open?
We perform addition.
However, I can help you with 10 minus 5, we can find number which we added to 5 gives 10, right? So 5. Basically, you see, it's subtraction, but I can only perform different way. So find 10 minus 9, which we can find which number, which is 5 gives 10. Would you like me to compute for this for you? So this is where powerful things are here. What I'm trying to say, it's infinite opportunities about to happen. At this moment, I know we are almost done with the class. Tools you learn, think that like, how can I leverage LLM? LLM is a heart here. Without LLM, this is not. With this, you are also expanding the power of LLM. And this capability, in my understanding, a lot easy. We learn stand, we learn LangFlow, we learn LangChain, and we also learn MCP. At this moment, these are the only technology available in the market, and you all have in your pocket. Practice and do project. I'm pretty positive we'll do well. I have quiz to do. Can we take quiz? 2 minutes, right? So quiz. We'll do good.
My client has the element when it calls the past MCP server. The MCP server doesn't have any LLM. It's all.
MCP server doesn't have any. It's just a pass through. It's a pass through. Let's do this one. Sorry, question.
Yeah, I have one question. Like whenever you face the interview, what is going to ask like Python related questions?
No, they may ask Python, but they will ask library. They will not ask you write a program. They will ask library, which library you use. You should be say Strand agent, Strand tools, pandas, NumPy, LangChain, community thing. Like it will be visible, right? If you have used it. OpenAI, Bedrock, those things. What about this one? Do you guys agree?
Creating interactive data apps.
So that's correct. Next one. Do you guys agree? Next one. Model communication protocol. Model communication protocol. This is when you create MCP, this will work for all LLM. That's another benefit. All LLM. It's not one LLM. Any LLM you will understand. So whatever code we wrote, this will work for a Bedrock or other Llama or other model also. Anytime agent means digital worker, intelligent task. Next one. Make sense? Endpoint is nothing but URL. So if you see in this code, whichever we have done, this these are endpoint. So anytime you define this, this is called endpoint. This is REST endpoint. Okay. There you go. Here you go. Next one. So OpenAI is nothing but you're making a call, right? So it gives you more capability, right? Yes, sir. Using that key, you are able to call LLM. Next one. Next one. Next. Yes, Postman. For testing, you do Postman. Next one. Microservice is nothing but small services. And these services you can communicate through orchestration, which is called API gateway. So API gateway, and then most people connect API gateway will connect like that. So when you say, I want travel package consists with many. So travel package come here, then you click flight, you do car, hotel, which is the internal. So these are microservices, and this is the gateway service, because travel package is a big thing. Next one. Interactive UI, right? User can interact through web or browser. Server-side logic. Yes or no? Next one. Meaningful form. LLM summarize the details. So if you give a big thing, you can ask 2 lines, it will do that for you. Next one. Module in a sequence, right? You can do sequence, you can do other order. There is a framework called Swarm. The Swarm framework, if you click here, highly recommend you can watch this thing. They recently added this one, Swarm multi-agent. Recently they added. Please read that, and I think this is one of the popular one. I do have one exercise in our. I have one exercise in our framework forum. So if you click here, you will understand like nice, beautiful frameworks. How you can coordinate. There are different frameworks they have given, like a Swarm, Graph. I did Graph in our websites are there. Workflow, if you want to do sequential workflow like this way, you can do multi-agent, like a teacher agent kind of thing. So you can do that type of workflow. So these are like different flows are, and their code is there. Now you know how to navigate it. So most of the code will work. We done here, this one, next one, last one. You guys ready? So that complete my part. I hope you enjoyed. Next week, you all have to, after question?
No, that was an accident.
Yeah. Next week is a project. How many groups we have? You 2, but who are the 2 groups? Manish and Manish, you are in a separate group. How are you guys doing with the project? Make sure you guys meet and do the work, because trust me, this kind of opportunity you won't get often. There are lots of contents. I'm creating videos, YouTube videos. So this data will be available through video. Forums are there. Videos are still available in our WebEx. Watch it. Trust me, if I can teach so much thing in 3 hours, collectively, your 7 days, you can do amazing job. Okay. So do it right and be proud. Okay. I really enjoy this class, honestly, because it not only helped me to grow better, but it gave me a new lens. And this overall exercise, honestly speaking, I might have invested 100+ hours to create a labs and forums. So forums has a lot of good content because I can easily forget if I don't use it. So this gives me, reference. I can go back and all. And those who are going for certification, I would highly recommend to go for certification, AI certification. Again, you already know 60-70%. 30% may take maybe a day or two to prepare, then you can knock it down the certification. Thank you so much and good night. Just like you deploy any service, you deploy as a Docker image, it will run. It will run as a job. You can run any LLM. So think about MCP server is a web service, but it understood by LLM very nicely. So that's why you can run anywhere. You can run in a automatic like EC2 server, or you can run the Docker container. It will work. Okay. If you want to stop it, just do Control-C or just close the window.
How we, in the stance, how we created tools, everything can be wrapped in one MCP.
Exactly. So if you have a backend system, like example, database, Confluence space, or file structure, if you have folder structure, get folders, list folders, like files, add so many things. You don't want to create a web service. You create MCP wrapper. So you can add anytime and it will automatically work. LLM will automatically find out because it interrogate that.
Mainly helpful because MCP client doesn't have to integrate with so many tools independently.
Correct. And your agent becomes so simple, right? Because think about it, you have one MCP server for Confluence, one MCP server for Jira, one MCP server for Rally. Then you just add 3 tools and now you can call anyone, right?
Yeah.
Technically, now we have not done that, but technically you can write a prompt and say, it will create an epic, create story, create task. If you have Jira tool, MCP server, Jira does give you MCP server. So I think if you search in Google, you will find a lot of MCP server available now. So MCP server for Jira. Nowadays, they all are like, I would say, crazy rush going on.
Yeah.
Everyone is doing. Last 3 months, this is new technology. So everyone has that MCP server. So you can plug it in and it will give you interrogations, right? So you can call. So using that now what happened? If I can write a prompt, it will create epic, create story, create task, all because through MCP server. Look at that. So now this is your MCP server. You can interact with whatever you want. So these are all model.
Because it has the